the apogee and the perigee of broadcasters in one generation. And so what can I say to you? At the same time, this is one of the saddest days in American history because 22 Navy SEAL personnel were killed the other day, 3 Air Force troops, a 5-member Army aircrew, and a military dog, all killed because of the incompetence of some idiot moron in the Defense Department who put them all on a slow-flying helicopter that went into a trap. The Taliban claim that they've infiltrated the Afghan military, which means they have now backdoored into the U.S. Defense Department military through Afghanistan. And so, therefore, these men are dead. Now, you would expect that a commander-in-chief would ask the country to have a moment of silence, or he'd ask for flags to fly at half-staff. But this incompetent, the commander-in-chief, not only would not want you to do that, because it would show what an inept man he really is, but he has not released the names of those killed. He has also forbidden press coverage. Now, in the past, there was an 18-year ban on media coverage of the returns at Dover in Maryland, but it was lifted in 2009 by then Defense Secretary Robert Pinktie Gates, and it was left the decision to the families of the war dead who were not given that option this time. The Pentagon overrode the grieving widows, the grieving fathers, the grieving mothers, the grieving grandparents of the dead military men, and the Pentagon blacked it out. No media coverage whatsoever, ever. And you know why. They're lying. They're saying that they don't want you to cover it. They don't want to cover it because the remains are all mixed up. It's a lie. The military is covering up this travesty and this tragedy because they will be blamed for what they are. A bunch of pension-watching pensioners. Several news organizations, incidentally, agree with me and have protested the Pentagon's decision to prohibit coverage of the return of their remains. It's a disgrace. It's a double disgrace. It's an outrage. And I will tell you right now, although the military is launching a probe into the helicopter, listen to what the AP says. I'm not going to tell you. I couldn't believe this. Military launches probe into helicopter crash. That's the headline from the vermin at the Associated Press. Military launches probe into helicopter crash. This is what they teach them in a journalism school? You have the single largest loss of Navy SEALs in history under Obama the incompetent. And they say military launches probe into helicopter crash. That's like saying man shoots 13 at Fort Hood. This is why we are in the state we're in, because of the vermin in the media. Either they don't know what's going on, they have lost the ability or never had it, where they could actually say what's going on, or they're actually doing it on purpose. It's very hard to tell a difference. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. If you have fools like this writing military launches probe into helicopter crash, instead of saying it like it is, the worst travesty to ever hit the U.S. Navy SEALs, our elite of the elite, and our commander-in-chief hides the return of the remains as they come into Dover, because he knows that the world will finally see him for what he is, a common community organizer, lifted up by the trillionaires who are raping the economy. That's why. There's your president. And if you think I'm alone on this, you're mistaken. Many millions of people see this. Of course, not anybody on the more snotty nonsense by chicks. And, of course, the worst of them all, the worst is Andrea Mitchell, who, in my opinion, her and her old man, Alan Greenspan, should be investigated for collusion as part of the government media complex. The breeziness of Andrea Mitchell as she covers up for Obama in clip 19 is something that you must hear. Listen.
Basically, he was saying that no rating agency can take away our AAA rating or that we're still a AAA country. So I think this was a call to leadership, to hope, and to try to push back against those who were saying that we are somehow psychologically weakened by what S&P did.
Of course, there is no shame with Andrea Mitchell. If she looked in the mirror, she would say, I quit. If she actually saw herself in the mirror, she would just quit and never be seen in public again. She'd have the decency to never do this to the people of the world, to show her face. But there it is. That's the American media saying that this is a call to leadership and hope, what Obama said the other day. As you well know, they're a wholly owned subsidiary of the government, because General Electric pays no taxes on their U.S. earnings. Therefore, MSNBC, which is owned by NBC, which is owned by General Electric, they're told what to say, which is to salute the man in the White House at all costs, no matter what he says, to always say the king has clothes, even if he has no clothes. And so, therefore, she's saying, although he appeared naked he was fully clothed in a regal robe. West Virginia, Karen, welcome to the Savage Nation.
Good evening, Dr. Savage. I'm very entertained this evening by your program, but also had a comment.
Entertained? You must be a very, very weird puppy if you're entertained. How could you be entertained?
I'm finding it enlightening what you're...
I take offense when people say they're entertained. I mean, I'm throwing out information that shouldn't be entertaining. I admit that my sarcasm can be somewhat enlightening and entertaining, but I don't mean to ridicule you, but my God, how much worse could it get under this incompetent clown in the White House?
It's nowhere else to go but...
The world is burning. The economy is melting down. Our elite soldiers are being killed because of the schmucks in the military who put them all in a slow-turning helicopter, and I'm supposed to sit here and tell jokes.
No, absolutely not.
So, I'm sorry, what made you call then?
I was encouraged by what you had to say when you were reporting about Mayor Nutter. I've always viewed him as a very liberal politician, and his comments have taken me by surprise.
Oh, he's terrific. He should be president instead of the clown we have in the White House. He ought to run for the presidency, the mayor of Philadelphia. Let's see how far he gets, having gone off the liberal plantation.
Savage.